Hello students, in this class we are going to learn about how to create a Bootstrap homepage. So already I have created a homepage here. Let me tell you the contents of this homepage right now. So you can see there's a navigation bar here. So homepage, you have the drop downs here, right? Then you have contact us here. You have Facebook icon, Instagram icon, Twitter icon, GitHub icon, gallery, right? So this is basically like a button over here, and also I've given a background image and the text on that, right? So when you scroll it down, you can see the carousel here, right? So you can see when I click on it, it will go to their next image, previous image, right? So this is basically a Bootstrap carousel which I have used here, and again I have used a background image as well. But let me tell you, this is quite different from normally what you do in HTML, right? So this is quite different. So I'm going to show you what all I have created in this, so you can get an idea and you can use in your project as well. So when I come down, now this is quite interesting, right? So there's a background image and this text, right? So this is very simple. You can do it in your normal HTML as well. But when you come to the right side, that is the form, you can see it is little bit tilted, and this looks attractive, right? So even you can use this in your website to make it attractive. Now let us study about what exactly I have used here and how to build this particular Bootstrap homepage. Now coming back to this code editor, you can see there are around 300 lines of code which has been written to create this web page, right? So I will not be able to completely tell you what exactly is going on, but yes, I'm going to give you some insights about what exactly I've used here. Before that, let us see our folders, like what exactly, where is our folders, right? So TechVid Labs, right? So let me go to this. Okay, so these are the basic things which I've used in our website. So there are a lot of images. I've used this particular image, that is the dice image here, right? So other than that, there are so many images. You can actually use all these images to create your website. So now I've created three documents here. So main document is the asset, right? When you go to this folder, you can see CSS files. I've included this CSS file from the internet. So I've downloaded this pre-made CSS files already from the internet, so I'm going to use this particular thing there. Then in demo we have again JavaScript file and CSS. You can find it on internet. You can download the different CSS files, right? So Bootstrap allows you to use all those files. Now fonts I've downloaded from Font Awesome. Last class we discussed about Font Awesome, how to go to Font Awesome and take the icons over there. So I've included the Font Awesome directly over here. Then coming to images, you can see there are different images, right? So you can actually use any image if you want. So it basically depends on your project, right? So I have downloaded a system called Argon Design System, which is available on the internet. You can download it as well. So now Argon system is here. You can see all the custom forms, CSS and everything. So I'm not gonna use all this in my program or in my website. So I'm gonna use few of the things there, right? So let us check what I have used now. So now document type, this you already know. If you want, you can just type exclamatory mark and tab, whole structure of the HTML will be there. And also you can copy the starter template directly from the bootstrap.com, right? Now here all these things are pre-written, so you don't have to worry about it. All these things, meta, all these things are already written in the structure. Now comes the most important part, that is link rel is equal to icon. So I'm going to choose an icon now. Where do I choose an icon? Where is this exact icon? As you can see, there's an icon over here, right? So this is Bootstrap homepage, and also towards the left of it, you can see an icon called B. So I have added this particular thing here. Maybe I'm gonna see the path first. So I've added this assets, image and bootstrap.png. So let me go to assets, image, and bootstrap.png. So let me extra large it. Yes. So when I come down, you can see this icon, right? So this icon I have used in my program, and that is why it is also there here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the path of it. Type is image/png. href, I've given the path of it. So what happens now? In the title, it will take this icon, right? So that is done. So this is how you can include an icon there. So link rel is equal to icon. Now if you put link rel is equal to style sheet, you can add style sheet. Now when you do link rel is equal to icon, you can add an icon for the title, right? So again, I have given a title called Bootstrap homepage here. So you can also give any title if you want. Next, I have included the CSS files and the fonts. Now how to add it, you can see link is given, and href I have directly taken it from the internet, that is font CDN. Using CDN I have taken https fonts.google apis /css, you have family, all these things are available on the internet, so you can directly take it using a CDN. Now next thing is, again I have added CDN of FontAwesome. You can see https:/use.fontawesome. So this is basically a CDN of fontawesome.com. So you can add that, because if you don't add it, your program won't work if you are using an icon from FontAwesome. So that is why you will have to add this link as well directly, right? So this is about CDN of FontAwesome. The next thing is Nucleo icons. Now Nucleo icons I have already downloaded it. Let me go to assets, CSS and Nucleo icons. So let me go to assets and CSS and Nucleo icons. As you can see, Nucleo icons is a CSS file. So once I click on it and when I open with a notepad, you can see it has been licensed, and also you can download it freely on internet. You can see all the things are already, the pre-written code is already here. You can see .nilg, right? You can use all of those things in your program. So you will have to go through it, what exactly is all the things available inside Nucleo icons. So once you go through it, you can use it in your programs, right? So I've used Nucleo icons first, then again SVG. So what is an SVG? Let me tell you what is an SVG. Now SVG is called as scalable vector graphics, right? So what is this exactly? This is like an icon, or this is like an image, all those things, right? So anytime icons can be there, PNGs can be there, images can be there. This basically is used in XML, right? So I'm going to tell you how I have used SVG in our program. So going on to the next one, that is FontAwesome. Again I have added FontAwesome. I've already downloaded FontAwesome in the CSS as well. So once we go to CSS, you can see FontAwesome here, right? So I've already downloaded and I've linked this already, right? So again nucleo.svg, again I've added it here. In my assets you have Nucleo SVG here, right? So all these things you can directly download from the internet for the better use of your website, right? So now link href argon design system.css. Now see, there are so many CSS files which has been added, right? So let me count, 1 2 3 4 5 6 CSS files has been added. And also I have personally created CSS internal CSS here, right? So you can add any number of CSS files in your program. You can add inline, you can add internal, you can add external CSS as well, just like I have done here, right? So you can do that. Now coming back to the main point, that is the body section, right? So body section I have declared a section called index page here. Now I have declared a navigation bar. So what is a navigation bar? This is the navigation bar, right? So what are the contents of the navigation bar? I have assigned it as an ID here, right? So all these things will be taken from the Bootstrap, right? So I've already included the Bootstrap here, right? So yes, Bootstrap. Again, when you come down, let me talk about this. I've added the source files for JavaScript as well. So I've downloaded jQuery.js, popper.js, bootstrap.js, right? I've already downloaded it, and I've given the link here for the assets inside the assets in the JS plugins. You can see once I go here. Now if you go to JS, you can go to plugins, you can see all the Bootstrap and all those things which I've already downloaded. And also in the core you can see bootstrap.min, jQuery.min, popper.min, right? So you can add all of this in your programs as well. This is about the JS files which I've included. Now going back, right? So ID I've given as navbar main. Again, all these things you can find it navbar, expend, lg. You can directly find it in getbootstrap.com. So there are minor changes which I have done it here. I have made it transparent, so that is why you cannot see the background. So only it is already on that image particularly, right? So I have given it transparent. Next, again, light headroom. There's so different options available in the navbar itself. So you can use any of this. Depends upon your website, like what kind of website you are doing, right? So it depends upon that. Now you can see I have added a container class here, right? So again I have given as first link as home page. So this basically will give you this home page here, right? So this will turn as a link, and when I click on it, it will stay on the same page. Why? Because I have given it as hash here, right? So I have given it a hash here, so that is why it stays on the same page. So this part of the code will actually give this anchor link here, right? The next thing which I have done is the button. Now I've added a button. Now where is that button particularly? So let me go back. You can see button, I have closed it here, and make sure this button is available here. This will look like a button basically, right? So you do that as well. So when you come down, Now you can see one more class I've given collapse. I suppose you have already learnt about collapse, right? So we just saw what is collapse in the bootstrap class. So collapse navbar collapse I have given, right? So what did collapse do? It will make like this, right? So it will basically do like this. So when I am in the full size of the screen, it will show all the things. When I am like this, it will show this. So when I click on it, it will be like this, right? So that is what is collapse. Now next we have collapse header. All those things are available in the getbootstrap.com, so you can use that. Again, I have given href dot you can give it hash here, right? So let me do one thing. I'm gonna give it as hash, right? So done. Bootstrap homepage. Now what is bootstrap homepage? Again, I've created a anchor link here, right? So again, we have button class, all those things. It is very easy, you can do that. When you come down, I've given a drop down menu here for the team. You can see the drop down menu icon is there. The more information will be available like this. You can see the different, you can see the animation which is going on right now. You can see that animation, right? So how do we do that animation? You have to use JavaScript for this as well. Again, drop down menu, we have created drop down menu here. Again, for the icon, I have given icon shape, the primary rounded circle, text white, right? So what is that icon? This is particularly that icon, right? So where is that rocket or the spaceship? You can see the spaceship icon inside that particular round. You can see this rounded circle. So what happens is rounded circle is nothing but this particular round circle. Now inside that round circle, we have given the spaceship, right? So I class spaceship, right? So this icon can be found in fontawesome.com. Now again, coming back to next one, again each one, right? Each drop down, first drop down I have given as marketing team. As you can see, this is the marketing team first. Again, you can see the different text which I have given like this, right? So all the description, this is a class, right? So class description will already be there in Bootstrap, so you can use that. Now coming down, again I've created one more rounded circle for the second one, for the sales team. You can see this sales team, right? So I've created one more rounded circle, but here I've not given a icon here. So see, only ni I've given, but if I give spaceship here, you can see spaceship, and when I do this, go back, both the things will be spaceship now, right? So you can give your own icons depending on what program you are doing. So this is just an example of how exactly to be a project to be created, right? So again, in the sales team, again I have given a description here. Now learn about more, right? So all the things I have given here. Now I have closed that list particularly. Now next one, next navigation item here is the contact us now. So I have not given any drop downs here. You can remove this as well, so it's not required, right? So I have not given any drop downs, so I'll remove it. So it is only a navigation item now. Now I have given hash so that it should not go to anywhere. Now what is the text over there? That is the contact us, right? So contact us is the text over there. You can see nav link, inner text. Now all these things are already available. I told you already. You just have to download the dependencies which are required for your program. As you can see, there are different dependencies which is already installed or downloaded. You can see demo, all these things are already available here, right? So I've downloaded it, everything, and I'm doing it. Now again, for the next one, that is the Facebook icon. For the Facebook icon, what I've given, I've directly used this Facebook square, right? So that is why I'm getting the output like this, Facebook. And also it tells your hover, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. As you can see, where is that? When you go to this, you can see title, like us on Facebook, right? So follow us on Instagram. So this is what this particular lines of code does here. You can see Facebook, I've added a Facebook icon here. Now you can remove this as well. So let us check what happens if we remove this. Let me remove it. You can see nothing changes, right? So you can remove that as well. Now again, after that you have Instagram, after that you have Twitter, after that you have GitHub, right? So you can add any number of icons. I told you already, FA means it is Font Awesome. So FA you can, okay, let me show you how to use Font Awesome first. So go to Font Awesome, again go to Font Awesome 4.7. so this is better actually. So I told you already, the CDN will be mailed to your particular email ID. So once you get your email ID, you will have to go to this icons. So choose your icon, choose whatever icon you want, click on it, and you'll have to just copy this entire I class. So this is the I class, icon class. So you can see I class is here, that is called as the icon class, and you can add this picture O, right? So picture O, what does this give? This gives the gallery picture. This gallery, there's an icon over near the gallery, right? So this can be bought using picture O, right? So this is completely free of cost. You don't have to pay any amount to the founders, or you don't have to pay any amount to Font Awesome. It is completely free. You can use that. Now coming down, now I've completely finished that. So I've given this span 150 and all those things for the wrapper section. So basically I've created a section here, right? So I've created a section here. So I've given all these things. This is optional for you if you want. It depends on your page, as I told you. Now it is very important. Now see, I've added an SVG file. So let me tell you, SVG file is like an icon, or maybe I'm going to show you how exactly you can use SVG here. So I'm going to search for SVG. So once I search for SVG, you can see w3.org, and you can see scalable vector graphics, right? So all the things will be available, but when you are going here, let me show you something, but your access will be denied. 2000/1.svg. okay, let me see the code of that once again. So yes, this one, right, /svg, right? So here not 1.svg, it is /. Now it will say something and all, right? So basically what I've done here is I'm taking SVG from the internet directly here. So let me show you what actually an SVG file looks. So when you go to SVG, scroll down, or just you can type as SVG download, you will get free vector icons, Flaticon, right? So when you go to Flaticon, you can search for any for example, maybe I'm going to search for this animal, right? So let me search for an elephant here, elephant face. So when you click on it, it will ask you SVG or PNG. So when you click on SVG, free download it. You cannot open it directly, right? You cannot open it. Only you can open the PNG format directly, but SVG formats cannot be opened directly. Now if you want, you can just change the name of that here. So your elephant will be appeared. So let me show you how. Here when I come down, right, so let me just go to downloads first. Let me copy this, go to quotes, WAP b1. So let me paste it here, right? So that is elephant.svg. so I'll remove this. So let us check what happens. Save it. You can say an elephant will be there, right? So this is how actually you can use the SVG, right? Picture on picture, right? The previously it was one more picture. Let me show you. This was that one picture here, right? So this was that particular picture, this the dot marks or the paint marks, right? So this was that SVG, but when I use elephant, you saw just it completely changed, right? So this is how you can use SVG, image on image. For that I'll have created a section, background image I have given, and URL of that particular SVG I have given it there, right? So you can do that. Next, for the paragraph that is on this particular thing, I have given Bootstrap homepage, right? So if I want it to be maybe, so let me put background color of red, close it. You can see the background color now, right? So you can directly use it here in the inline. So I've used all the three. I've used external style sheet, I've used inline style sheet, and also I've used internal style sheet here, right? So you can do that directly. You can do that. Let me do it for this as well. So let me add style here once again. Style of let me add background color again. Background color of, let me add maybe blue violet. Okay, so let me go and check the output. You can see Bootstrap homepage, and this is an example of Bootstrap, right? So this is very simple. You can directly add it. Now where did I give the background image? I have given the background image for the SVG, for this particular paint like image, right? But where exactly is our background image? When you come down, first let us understand the SVG section first. This is the coordinates, right? This is the tag for SVG. To include SVG, this is the tag. You can see this, right? So there's an angle made over in this web page, this angle. So this angle is done using this particular thing. You can see this polygon, right? So this angle is done particularly with that. So let me do one thing, I'll show you what happens. So now 0 0 250, that is the view box I have given as 0 0 2 5 6 0 100. So let me just cut this, I'll paste it here, right? So control save, go back and check it has become straight, correct? So let me add 1000 here, control save, go back, and you can see little bit of tilt is there. Now again if I do 225, you can see the difference, right? So if I want to go back to the same position, 0 0 2 5 6 0 100, it will go back to the same position, right? So this is how you can use a polygon class here, right? This is basically the polygon class. For the SVG, right, you can directly add it from w3.2001/svg directly. So if you don't want, let me just remove it and check what happens. No, it should be inside this particular SVG. The polygon tag should be inside that particular SVG, then only your program will work, right? So understand that. Now coming to the next section, that is div section style background image. Now here I have given the background image. You can see URL, I have given URL assets l1.svg again for this particular thing. Again when you come down, this particular, you can see this particular paint marks, right? So this section is for that. So where is the dice one? So let me go up, you can see the dice I have given it in this section. This section I have given 14.jpg. So what is 14.jpg? Let me go back. 14.jpg is the dice one. So let me change it to this pro, right? So this particular one. So let me change it to pro. Now control save, go back, check the output. You can see this is a different image. Again in the down also there is a different image. These both are the sections, so that is why this has been changed. Here I have not given the section, that is why the background image has not been changed, right? So you can do that in your program. So let's come down. Now for the main part, you guys must have been wondering that why is your carousel little tilted and how it looks very good and how it is possible. So let me tell you, this is the code for that. Section background image, why? Because this particular paint like things, right? This is the SVG which I have used. So for that you all have to use this 1.svg. Then I've created a container, then justify contents, align the item center, come down, and now the real thing comes, that is the carousel. You can see rounded, overflow, hidden, transform, perspective, left. It should be on the left, the carousel should be on the left, right? So ID I've given carousel example. All these things are available in your Bootstrap, so you can use it directly. Now you can see a list has been created for the data slide, so it should go to the next image, right? So that is why I have created. All these things are directly available in your getbootstrap.com for the carousel part. And little changes, that is the classes, right? So rounded, overflow, hidden, transform, perspective, left, right? So little changes, if you make it, your carousel will look like this, correct? And make sure whenever you are using a carousel, all the image which you are going to use in that slideshow should be of same dimensions. If it is not on the same dimensions, your program will it will work, but it will look awkward. So let me show you an example. Maybe I'm going to use Royal 1 here. So see, you can see there's no image of Royal 1. So let me add Royal 3. Maybe I'm going to add Royal. You can see an image is there for the Royal Enfield, right? But when I do click on this, you can see the whole image dimensions is different and it looks awkward, right? So it should be of the same image. It should be of the same image to get the proper output. So that is why I've used the same image here to make you guys understand what is the difference between that. What if you don't have any proper dimensions and your program would look worst and the website would come little awkward, right? So I don't want you guys to do that. So make sure each and every picture you use should be of the same dimensions. Now if you don't find any picture of the same dimensions, don't worry, go in an editor, crop that in a particular dimension. Use softwares like Microsoft picture editor and all those things are there. So use that, change the dimensions of the image, then your image could probably work properly, right? So next the text which I have given, I've already told you the text. This is the bike collection. You can see your bike collection and button is here. So for that you will have to create a division, column LG5, MB5, MBLG0, right? So again, font weight light, bike collection. So if I want to add style, maybe I'm gonna add style here, style. So let me add style. First let me give space for this. Now let me add maybe background color or something, maybe brown. Control save, go back and you can see brown color. Okay, so background color. Now if I want it to be, maybe I'm gonna give as color of the text, I'm gonna give it as dark blue. Control save, you can see dark blue color, right? So you can make changes. If I want, you can give a size as well. So let me add font size of maybe 25px. So let me see how it comes. You can see it is very small, right? So maybe if I give 250px, control save, go back and you can see it is very big and it looks awkward. So let me do one thing again. I'm going to remove all of these things. Right, so this is done. After that, carousel, you can write your own text here. You can give your text. You can see the bike collection. For the button, I have used class button white, correct? So let me check if black works here. Yes, you can see that, right? So it will work. When you go on it, it will show you that button, right? So when you are on this, there's no button, but when you go on it, it will show you a button. You can use that for this as well, right? So next we have again one more section. This section is very important for your form, right? So this looks unique. So let me tell you how to do that. So again, I have created div class container. Again, row grid justify content between align times and item center. This was the same thing which I used in carousel. Again, for the bootstrap form, lorem ipsum, right? So all these things are in the left, right? So all these things, these two things can also be done very easily using this button success, button white. So let me add black and check. You can see, right? So you can use that as well in your program. Now all these things can only work if you download the dependencies properly. If you do not download these dependencies like assets, images and everything, it will not work. Remember that. Now again, I've created a div class for the form. Now let me check where exactly is our form. When you come down, it will tell here, you can see this particular thing, sign in with. Where is sign in with, right? So this is sign in with in the small text. You can see the small text, right? So now how to do that? Text muted, text centers, MB3. Now all this thing, card, I've created a card. Inside a card, I've created a form. So there's a difference, right? So inside a card, I've created a form. You can see card, BG secondary, shadow, border 0, card header, BG white, PB5, text muted, text center, MB3, button wrapper, text center, right? So all these things can easily be done in your program. So when you come down, you can see all the GitHub icons. I told you GitHub icons, Google icons, image I've used it. You can see GitHub, you can see Google. Then again, when you come down again for the form, so exact form lies here, right? So form group MB3, again input text, input group, form control. Again for everything you are gonna do the same thing like this, and you are gonna place your form inside that, right? So after the placing of the forms, your program is done, right? You can see this. It's very simple to create a bootstrap web page using all the dependencies, right? So you can use Font Awesome here, you can use fonts.google APIs, you can use Flaticon, right? So different options available, different fonts. When you take this image, you can see that this particular things is not shown because of that particular image. So if you want to change that, you can go to the section here and you can add. So let me add come down. You can have different options. For example, blend mode is there, saturation would be there, contrast would be there. So let me check for the contrast. Just if I come down, interpolation. So if you want auto like this, control save, go back. You can actually give different options for your images. Like maybe I'm gonna add for images. So let me change the resolution. So if I want resolution of 150px, you can see a little difference, right? So you can use image resolution, you can use image, right? So there's different options which are available for you in CSS to do that, right? So border image. So let me add some things here like crossfade or something. Maybe let's check the output. There's nothing usually happens. It depends on your web page or the particular image which you have taken, right? So according to that you will have to use. Don't use randomly that whatever is there, right? So don't use randomly over there. So use whatever is required for your particular program. If you do not use that, it will be simply a waste of time for you. Now basically what you can do is you can filter the image as well. So when you go on to this filter, you can find blur, brightness, contrast, drop shadow, grayscale. So let me go on to brightness and give 100. Control save, go back, and you can see it is 100. The whole page is like white, only you can see this. So let me give it as 50 and check. Control save. Now also it is like full, right? So you can remove this. If it is not working, you can remove that. Again you can add contrast. I'm going to give it as 50. Control save. You can see the contrast, right? So this works. Usually this works, but what happens, the whole inverted image and all those things occurs, and this looks very awkward, right? So you can use contrast in your particular program if it demands it, or else don't use it, right? So there are different options in CSS for that. So you can use any of those things, right? Don't forget to add all the script tags here, right? So sliders, date pickers, date pickers, bootstrap min, all. If you do not add all of these things, your program or your script or your whatever you are doing, it will not work. So let me tell you once again, right? So it will not work. So we'll have to add all the dependencies which is required for your web page, right? So you can do that, and that's it. Oh, this is a project which has been created using Bootstrap and JS, and also HTML and CSS.